Amidos kolom hatzrichos kamo kol kein tikun v'hayeshara mi Yesharim umi yisaknim imlon nasim lev aleihem v'lon daki b'tavar dikadol. So he's continuing to drive this home. He says, now how about cleansing our thoughts? If we don't make the effort to cleanse them from all of the blemishes that seem to be placed on them by our own natural physical self, and those behaviors which they need to be fixed and straightened. If we don't straighten them, who's going to fix them if we don't pay attention to what's going to do it? Hello, im eine. Hello. Im eino al davar iun amiti. Hainu motzi moso al amito umativen la'atzmenu u'lambno sala acherim umativen lahem gam kain. Says, so if we look at it truthfully, if we just looked at it and we say, hey, here's how we make these things better. We make them better for ourselves. And then we tell other people how to do it as well. Humash Amar Shalomo, this is in the book of Proverbs from Shlomo Melech. If we look at it like one searches for money and for like hidden treasure, we search for it. That's how we're going to get the fear of Hashem. Eino Omer Az tavin philosophia, az tavin tachuna, az tavin rafua, az tavin dinim, az tavin halachais, az tavin yiras Hashem. We're not saying that's when I'm going to be a better philosopher, and that's I'm going to get a better grip on astronomy, and that's when you're going to learn medicine, and then you'll understand all the legal stuff. Then you're going to understand the halach. No. Then you'll understand what it means to be a person who fears Hashem. Right? It has to be searched for like money and dug for like treasure. So if it's not something that have to be sought after, so we won't have been able to be taught about it, and we're relying on those who came before us to do this. How are we going to be familiar with it if we don't get it? And how can we spend time learning about other things and not learn about this? So why aren't you focusing on this and making time for this as opposed to going in and focusing on other things? This is a quotes the verse from Eov. It says, fearing God, that's wisdom. And our rabbi said in the Gemara in Shabbos, Lamed Aleph, Hein, Achas, Shekain B'Lashon Yavani, Korin Achas Hein, Haresha Hayira, He Chachma, He Levada Chachma, Uvada She'ein Nikas Chachma Mash Ein Bo'im. And it's not called, if you don't focus your time on that one thing, which is the fear of God, then you're not going to be able to learn what wisdom really is about. Acha MSC ki iun gadol shrich al kol hadvarm ha'ela das osa, but MS lo al tzad hadimyun ha'safara. And so truly, there's a great amount of analysis that's needed. That you look at all these things. That if you want to understand them and the way they function in your imagination and how they are explained out, but you're basically being led astray. So too, if you want to understand them. So, in order for you to be completely involved in these matters, truthfully, to become more pious, you're going to have to also focus on these things that seem to detract from those who become pious out of foolishness, meaning as we mentioned them above, as opposed to the things that bring you too close to a greater perfection. Okay, let me see over here. I think we may have to. I think we're going to pause it here because then we're going to get into how he builds the sefer. So what we're going to do is pause here, and we're gonna come back to this section. Okay, and what we're going to talk about how he's going to build the book. So we're going to come back over here and pick up with this next time. Thank you so much for joining us in our initial journey into the Mesilas Yesharim. We've now established what the problem is, and now we're going to look at the solution and how he's going to build the book out so that we can come to a real appreciation of how wisdom works. Thank you so much for joining.